All right, welcome back to the program. Storylines galore at this week's Masters, and it was capped off with a championship Sunday like no other. So let's jump right into this Ricks review where Jon Rahm came away with his first green jacket, and my man John Dell for the Winston-Salem Journal was in Augusta this week to share his experience with us here on the Ricks Review. And John, thank you, first and foremost, thank you for taking out the time for this. I know it's been a busy week for you, but I know you got a lot to share with us right now.
Well, JB, it was a fast week. The Masters week is always the fastest one in sports because all of a sudden you're there and next thing you know, it's Sunday afternoon, and we all know what happens on Sunday afternoon at Augusta.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the championship Sunday, and those are always exhilarating to watch. But, let's just go back to like some of the storylines with this one coming in. Obviously, you got Tiger Woods. Obviously, you got Mother Nature having the impact. Trees falling down in the middle of rounds. 2 suspensions and a Sunday morning that featured some serious championship golf in the 3rd round, leading into the actual final round of today's tournament where Jon Rahm came away with it. You got to tell me what your favorite moment of this week, since you were right there in the thick of it this week.
Well, I'm glad I didn't get hit by a tree. That's one thing.
Exactly.
But no, that was really a surreal experience. I'm glad nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
And it was, it happened to be, from what I understand, it was the lull in the tee times where there's no one during that time. So the tree actually fell at a good time, and then they suspended play right after that. But I would have to say my memories are always, when I go there, is to see the first-time fans, or patrons as they like to be called, but to see their expressions when they come out to the course and they see it for the first time.
Yeah.
I always look for that and kind of talk to a lot of them just to see what they think, and they're amazed like I am every year I go. It's just a great place, and the golf is always good no matter what. And this year was no exception. It was great golf from Thursday to Sunday.
Absolutely. And you speak about every year you go. Folks, my man JD has covered 26 consecutive Masters tournaments. So we're talking to someone full of experience when it comes to the Super Bowl of golf, is what I like to call it. Let me hit you with this next question, John, in regards to Tiger Woods, man. Obviously, he's going to be a huge storyline at whatever tournament he plays in. And he made the cut, and he kept this string going of never missing a cut at the Masters, which in my opinion is amazing by itself. But obviously, the pain caught up to him. He's dealing with plantar fasciitis, and he had to withdraw. Well, what were you seeing from the sidelines?
Well, I know that Saturday morning in the rain, in the driving rain, when he was finishing up his 2nd round, I went out there on purpose to see him play and to watch him finish, because I didn't know he was going to make the cut. You didn't know if he was going to be around. I mean, this could be his last Masters. You never know. I mean, you hope that it's not, because not only is Tiger moved the needle, he is the needle. I mean, people are still, they just want to go see him play. And, he's 46 years old, the same age that Jack Nicklaus was when he won in 1986. But, he's always a storyline. After he was finished Saturday, it didn't look like he was going to come back on Sunday. You could tell he was hurting with that foot. And I've had that before, and it's not fun. So I hope he can get better, and he'll probably play in some of the other majors, but that'll be about it. But when Tiger's at Augusta, people pay attention.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I'm putting it in the air right now. This was not Tiger Woods' last Masters. He's got plenty left in the tank. Obviously, he showed that he can still make the cut on a bum foot. You know what I mean? So
Right.
he's still greatness. And like you said, he doesn't just move the needle. He is the needle. But you know what? We got some other local cats who are actually moving the needle a little bit, especially on Championship Sunday. Cameron Young was making noise during today's final round. And I know that you were following him throughout the week. What'd you see from that young gun's game?
Well, Cameron's a Wake Forest graduate. He's 25 years old. And I'm here to tell you, he hits it a mile. He was driving it past Jordan Spieth and those guys, and he was 30 yards past them on most drives. I mean, he is just, and he's got a new caddy, Paul Tesori, who used to be Webb Simpson's caddy, and they're working really well together. Paul has been, he was at 21 Masters, but this was his 21st Masters, so he knows the course. And Cameron, it's just a matter of time before he breaks through. Last year, he finished 3rd at the British Open. His next major, which was this one at Augusta, he finished tied for 7th. So Cameron Young is a guy that's going to win out there on the PGA Tour, and he was Rookie of the Year last year. So it's just a matter of time with him.
Yeah, he's definitely getting it done right now. Cannot wait to see the future of that Wake Forest grad and him making noise on the links moving forward. Now, I want to go back to the Masters in itself. Championship Sunday from sun up to sundown. Like I said before, it felt like even the end of the third round felt like championship golf, especially with Brooks Koepka and Jon Rahm going heads up, being in the same group. This dude was like 14 of 14 in one of his rounds from fairways or whatever, so his week was phenomenal. But how about the way the drama that came out of those two going heads up?
Well, Jon Rahm had to survive Saturday a lot more than Brooks did, and I think that was the key. Jon Rahm kept it close, and then when the title switched, the tides just switched on Sunday, and Brooks struggled right out of the gate. And Jon Rahm capitalized. I mean, you forget on Thursday, Jon Rahm four-putted the first hole.
Yeah.
And a double bogey on the first hole.
Yep.
And he comes back and wins the Masters. So,
Yep.
I mean, Jon Rahm used to be a hothead. I mean, there's no, and, he used to pout. And he calmed himself down. He's another one who's under 30 who won a major. I think that's 5 majors in a row now that someone in their 20s has won a major. So, it's good to see. He's good for golf. And he won it on Seve Ballesteros' birthday. Seve passed away in 2011, and Seve's like the greatest Spaniard that ever played, and he won it on his birthday. So I'm sure that's pretty cool for all the Spaniards, and he's the 4th Spaniard to win the Masters, and this was the 87th Masters.
Wow, history right there, made by one of the alphas in this sport, Jon Rahm, definitely getting it done, and congratulations to him for getting his first ever green jacket. Before I let you get out of here, John, let me ask you this last question. As far as maybe some or none of the hoopla that was kind of out there about, live players going up against PGA Tour players in this Masters, in this major, what were the vibes like that you were feeling from, the entire, whether it be the crowd or whether it be the spectators or anyone else? What were the vibes that you were getting?
Well, at the Masters, they just want to see good golf. And I don't think anyone it mattered what tour they played on. They were there to play, and they played high-level golf. It's one of the best leaderboards they've had in a long time. I mean, it was just, ranked players left and right, and whatever tour they play on, we might not see a lot of the live golfers again because not a lot of people watch that tour. Mm-hmm. So whatever had happened, it was all about golf, and it was really more made, from outside people, but the golf was good, and that's what the Masters has been about for years and years, and it continued in that way this week.
Yeah, and you know what? I just hope every major will catch on, man. Every major needs to feature the top players in the world, no matter what affiliation they are with. You want to see the best at the majors because that's what the majors are all about. 26 straight to my man John Dell from the Winston-Salem Journal. 26 straight Masters. This one, I'm sure, is one that you will never forget. John, thank you so much for sharing your experiences here on the Rick's Review.
Sounds good, JB. Have a good week.